Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with 3 of these paints that I had left over from my last video, so if you missed it, it's in there. And I'm also going to use these small doilies that I got from Amazon, and I'll have everything linked in my description box for you guys. And I'm going to place one doily in each of the paint colors, and these paint colors are mixed with Mod Podge. And it got a little bit thick on me, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to help these doilies absorb the paint. So this will help a lot. And once I feel like it got enough coverage, then I'll take a piece of parchment paper, set it down, and place my doily, spread it out to help start to dry it a little bit. So just like this, just spread it out as best you can. And this color happens to be Tuscan Red by Apple Barrel. Okay, so now I'm going to take my green one, do the same thing, get it nice and covered, kind of flip it over, add some more water. It's a little process, but it'll come out really cute, and the Mod Podge will help it to stiffen up a little bit too, so that's a plus. Okay, this one's pretty much done, so I'm just going to place this on my parchment paper as well, and then I do the same thing with the orange one. Now, using a dowel rod and some craft clamps, I'm just going to hang them up in this manner with some paper towels underneath to absorb all the excess and allow these to dry overnight. Now here they are, nice and dry. They're a little bit stiff but also pliable, and I'm also going to use the one that I had left, which is the beige. I'm gonna leave it as is. Next, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree MDF plaques. They're just called Decor, and I'm going to remove all the packaging and remove this Jute twine, which we will be using it again, so we're just setting aside for now. And now with the leftover paints from the doilies, I'm going to paint this plaque. So I'm going to do the top part with the orange, just a light coat. I want all the details to still show underneath, and I'll do the middle with the red, the Tuscan Red by Apple Barrel. Oh, and the orange one was Jack-o'-lantern by Apple Barrel. And then following that will be the green one, which is called English Ivy Green, and that's also by Apple Barrel. Now I'll set this aside, allow this to dry completely. Here it is, nice and dry. Here are my doilies and my plain one, and I'm going to just use some of this Mod Podge in the mat, give it a good coat, and I'm going to use this Mod Podge to adhere all these doilies on my MDF plaque. So here's just going to use the Mod Podge, and the same with this one, with all of them actually. So I'll just take my time, and I'm not going to worry too much about any spillage because it will dry clear, and then we'll embellish so much that you won't see anything anyway. Okay, so here they are in place. I'm going to set this aside, allow this to dry a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to take some of these wood stems from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take a few to use as stems, because if you haven't guessed it yet, these doilies will be pumpkins. Yeah, kind of unique. So I'm going to take my miter shears, and I'm going to place my stems lengthwise like this, press really hard to cut them in half. And it works, I just have to press really, really hard. So here's 2. And again, I only need 4, but I'm going to just pick and choose what I want. This one was really thick, so I had to really press hard. And it worked. And then the last one was a little bit hilarious because I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. I pressed it so hard. One went flying one way, and the other one, who knows where it went. I'll find it eventually, I think. Okay, so here are my stems. And I'm just going to use some hot glue to adhere these onto my doilies and my plaque. Now here I'm going to place it under it, but then I decided I need to place it on top. And I went ahead and did the same thing to the rest, just some hot glue. Press it down like this. And then here's another one like this. And the last one, I had one spare, one left over, and then one that went somewhere. Now I'm going to take this Hello Fall woodward from the Dollar Tree that I painted, but now I'm noticing that it's going to blend with my top color, even though This color was not orange. It's going to blend. So later we'll do a little dry brushing just to have it pop a little bit. Okay, so got that on there. Now I'm going to use some of this raffia, which is a hula skirt, and some sunflowers, and some jute twine, some berry garlands, some berries, and then some other pieces that I found here and there. So it looks like this. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of the plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to take my chunky chippy brush from the Dollar Tree and do a very light distressing just to make the words pop. And while I was at it, I thought, you know what, let me do a little bit of accents on my doilies because they're a little bit just monotone. So I want to give it a dual tone, just a little bit of distressing, not much. You won't even really be able to tell once it dries because it's so light, but just a little tiny bit, just because. And now all I have to do is place my hanger back on, and that is it for this one. Here's how it looks and a closer look at the final reveal. This video is a part of the Autumn is the Second Spring, when every leaf is a flower collaboration, and I'm collaborating today with my sweet friend Tasha from Sunflower Tasha DIYs, and I wanted to add some sunflowers to my DIYs just to feature her. Here's a little preview of her channel, some of her videos that she's created in the past few months. So as you can see, she's very talented. She makes beautiful decor, so be sure to click link to her channel, to her video after you're done watching mine, and I'll have it linked in my description box, and I'll have it pinned in my comments as well for your convenience. And while you're there, give her a subscribe. For DIY number 2, I'm going to begin with one of these yard markers from the Dollar Tree. They came out in the summer and they're made out of MDF, and I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and basically twist off this hanger part and remove the staples. They come off pretty easily this way. Now I'm going to use these wood biscuits. These I got off of Amazon, and I'm just going to use a whole bunch of them. I think I used about 45 of them or so. I'm going to go in with Territorial beige and yellow, paint them like this, and I'm going to show you how I distressed the little petals. These will be the petals to my sunflower, and I just basically went real gently around the whole front. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere these to my MDF yard marker, and I'm just going to do it from underneath, that way I can see the placement better. So I just added a small dab of glue on each of the petals and place it down and press down, and I'll go all the way around just like this. 1, 2, 3 2 layers just like that. Now I'm going to take some of this packing paper that I got from Thrive Market, and I'm just going to snip it into a circle, and I'm going to adhere this to the middle with some hot glue just to give the center a unique look, something different, using some trash to make something pretty. So I do one side, and then I'll turn the whole thing around and do the other side in this manner until it looks like this. Look how cute and unique. And I'll just finish it off with a nice fluffy bow, and I'm using some of this black and white buffalo check ribbon to go with the accents on my sunflower, and I'm just going to create a big bow and fluff it up. This kind of ribbon is a little slippery, but just keep at it, keep working it, pull the loops and pull the tails, and just keep finagling it until you get it just right. So just this little process, but it'll work. Fix the center, so you just pull hard and then use the tails to bring it back down, make the loops a little shorter, and then once you get them just right, now I'm just going to take the ends and dovetail them and just snip it off with some scissors like this. And then I'm just going to take a nice glob of glue, place it in the center on the back of the bow, and adhere it to the base of my sunflower. Press it down, allow that to cool and set, and here's how it looks in a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I'm going to take one of these MDF pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I think this one was from last year. And after I remove the sticker, I'm going to take the sanding block from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to sand off any adhesive that was left on there. Now that's nice and smooth. I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. And now I'm going to take the Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery and my chunky chippy brush and I'm going to do a light dry brushing on this pumpkin because I want to use a window cling from the Dollar Tree, and the window cling has an effect similar to this in a green, and you'll see it in a minute. So I just go ahead and do this and then paint the stem in a green as well. So just like this, just a real light dry brushing. And now this dry brushing dries really quick because it's just dry. So here is the window cling pack that I'm going to use. Here's a skew, and if you look closely, it's got a green kind of dry brushing on it, and I think this will go well and nice and cohesive with my pumpkin. So here I'm placing it where I want to place it. Now I'm going to use some Mod Podge in the mat, and I'm just going to flip this window cling so I can do one part then the other and pour my Mod Podge down. But then suddenly my window cling kind of shifted, so I just picked it up. And I went ahead and then placed my window cling back down and added some more Mod Podge to the top to seal it all up. That way it's nice and secure, won't come off. And I also do the whole pumpkin, that way the whole piece is nice and cohesive in the mat, the same finish. Now here I'm going to allow this to dry, set it aside. Now here it is, nice and dry, and now I'm going to embellish, and I'm just going to use some little sunflowers and some jute twine. I'm going to wrap some jute twine around my fingers like I'm making a tassel, but instead I'm going to take another piece of jute twine and I'm just going to tie it in the center to make a bow, and I'm just going to wrap it around a few times and do a good strong double knot so it'll be nice and secure. And now I'm just going to snip off a couple of the tails because I ended up with 4 tails and my bow needs only 2 tails. So I'm just going to snip off the 2 that are kind of odd like this, and then there's one more right here. And now I'm going to fluff up my bow a little bit because it has several loops. Add a dab of glue and place it underneath my stem. And while my glue is still hot, I'm going to snip off some of the wire on these sunflowers, and I'm just going to place them on the very top to give it a little bit of a floral accent, and I think this would look super cute. And that is it for this one. I think it's adorable. Here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 4, I'm going to take one of these foam pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I was hoping to find the white ones, but I couldn't find the white one, so I just grabbed an orange one, and I'm taking the stem off and the toothpick that was in there, and I'm going to go in with the Waverly chocolate in the color hazelnut, give it a full coat. And once it was dry, I went ahead and took some more of this packing paper from Thrive Market, and I'm going to place my pumpkin in the center. And now taking my finger utility knife, I'm going to cut a hole in the center, which I probably should have done to begin with, but it's okay as long as we get it done. I'm just going to go around very gently and then push it in, allow all the contents to fall in there. And now I can take this paper and stretch it and push it inside the hole and kind of gather the ends that are not long enough. There is one piece that wasn't quite long enough, and I went ahead and had to use glue for that, but the rest of it was just fine the way I pushed it in. And I used a wooden dowel to help push all the contents in like this. And it was just enough to hold it. Now this is the piece right here that needed a little bit of glue, so I just added a dab and kind of pushed it down, and it worked great. Now I'm going to take some jute twine and make the hole a little bit more defined so I can put my jute twine inside, push it down with my wood dowel, add a little dab of glue to help secure it inside like this, and then use my wooden dowel to push that in there, pull it out quickly. I didn't want my dowel to be stuck in there. And now I'm just going to simply go around this whole pumpkin wherever the ribs are. So there are several ribs, so I'm just going to go around both 2 sets of ribs at a time, and then holding the jute twine with my thumb, I'm going to go to the opposite direction to get another 2 sets of ribs, and so forth and so on and so forth in this manner, holding the jute twine in the center until it's all done, until I get all the ribs covered with the jute twine. I do a good 2 or 3 passes with each of the set of ribs, and like this. Then I finally finish up at the front, the very top, snip off the excess while holding everything down with my finger and my thumb, and then adding a dab of glue to press it down with my silicone spatula, get everything nice and secure, which is great. Now once that glue is set, now I'm going to take one of these wood stems from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take one that's kind of unique. I thought this one was kind of unique, so I'm just going to add a dab of glue and place it in the very center. It'll just be on top of the jute twine, it won't be inside. And now I'm going to take some of these maple leaves. This little pack had burlap maple leaves, and these green ones were super cute. Go with my neutral pumpkin look, and I'm just going to add one to each side of the pumpkin like this. And now I'm going to take some of the berry garland. This one is the one in the green and the white, and I'm going to wrap it around my brush, my paintbrush, and create the tendrils like this. And then I'll go ahead and make 2 same way. And now it's as easy as just wrapping these tendrils around the stem. So the first one, I just kind of wrap it real quick and kind of form the tendrils to be going downwards a little bit. And then I do the same thing to the second one, and I leave that one going up a little bit. And now I'm going to take some more of these sunflowers, and I'm just going to snip off the whole bottom, that way they're nice and loose. And I'm just going to use 3, and I'm going to poke them in the actual paper, not the actual foam, because the paper's there, so I can poke it in there, and that works great. And I just use 3 to help embellish with a little floral effect like my other pumpkin, and that is it. Super cute. This is how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 5, I'm going to take this box, this wooden box that I found at my thrift store for $1, and it needed a lot of help. It looked a little rough. It was well loved. I'm thinking somebody used it for crayons or something. So here I'm just going to take my EMT shears, and I'm going to snip off this handle that was on here. I wanted to try and save it because I like that rustic look, but no, this was beyond saving, so maybe we'll use that for something else. So I went ahead and cleaned it up, removed all the stickers, and I went in with the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And now I'm going to take the Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut and my Chucky Chippy brush again, and I'm just going to do some dry brushing on it because it looked like these 2 colors would go well with this particular little box. So I just did both sides. Actually, I did all sides and the insides as well. So here I'm just going to go real quick. However it comes out, that's how I'm going to leave it. If it comes out thick, I'm going to leave it. If it comes out thin, I'm going to leave it. I just want it to look as rustic as possible, and I don't want it too perfect because then it won't look rustic. So here I'm doing the inside just a little bit, little touches on all sides, and a little bit on the inside as well, even though you won't see the inside. The inside will have florals. But you know, gotta do a complete job. So I'm going to take one of these wood bead wreaths from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the packaging, and then using my needle nose pliers, I'm going to pry open this wire, both ends. First this end here, and I'm going to straighten out the wire with my needle nose pliers, remove several of the beads like this, and now I'm going to place this here on my box. I'm trying to figure out how much of this I'm going to need. I ended up adding a few more beads back on. I think I removed too much. Now I'm going to gently press my EMT shears to help remove some of this wire that was too much. And now using my needle nose pliers again, I will bend it upwards and twist it to the other side, to the outside. That way it'll lock in place and be secure. So I'm just going to kind of twist it. Took a little finagling, but I got it like this. Now for the other end, I'm going to have to go ahead and open that as well. That way I can get it inside the hole. And I do the same thing. I just go ahead and start twisting the wire upward and get it locked in place in the same manner as I did the other side. And now that I have it nice and secure, I'm going to twist it upwards because this will be kind of a harvest basket for my sunflowers, and then the wreath will kind of represent the sun because the sunflowers like to face the sun. So now here is a piece of styrofoam, floral foam, and I'm going to use my tool, my painter's scraper, and I'm just going to use this to cut this styrofoam, floral foam in half like this. And then I just go ahead and fill up my little box. And now for florals, I'm going to use a pick of these acorns, a few picks of these sweater pumpkins. They are so adorable. I think I use all but the white one or the cream one. And I'm going to use a pick of this bittersweet, and of course some sunflowers, one pick of each color. And I'm also going to use some of the Spanish moss to help cover the inside. That way it's a nice complete look. I'm just going to tear off a piece of that and kind of fluff it up, press it down. Here are my flowers. Look how cute, but we're not done yet. I think this is beautiful. So now I'm going to take some of this ribbon. This is from the Dollar Tree. I think it's new, but look at that. Pumpkins and sunflowers. Can't get any perfect than that. So now I'm going to take a piece, snip off the excess, and I'm going to use some hot glue to adhere it in place along my box. And I'm going to take another piece and I'm just going to create a bow. Just a quick method. Take a piece of jute twine and tie it in the center and do a good double knot, get it nice and secure, and then snip off the excess. Whenever I make these kind of bows, I don't snip off the ribbon until I make the actual bow. That way I don't waste anything. So like this. Now I'm going to take my scissors and create the dovetails, because I think that looks really cute. Like this. Fluff up the bows, the loops. And I'm going to take one of the little sunflowers with the wire, and I'm just going to wrap the wire around it, placing the sunflower in the center, and then that gives it a really cute look. And now we're done. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Instagram, here's my QR code. I invite you to scan it and come follow me on there. I post on there Monday through Fridays, as well as TikTok. Here's my QR code for there. Here is my QR code for Facebook, also Monday through Fridays, as well as my Pinterest. Here's my QR code for there, Monday through Fridays, and my Threads account. This is my handle, also Monday through Fridays. Here's my Hometalk QR code. I invite you to come scan it, post on there twice a month. I do have a Facebook crafting group. I invite you to come join us there. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know what you think and which one is your favorite one. Well, I'd like to take a moment and thank Tasha from Sunflower Tasha DIYs for collaborating with me today. I really enjoyed creating some sunflower decor for fall, and I hope these brought a smile to her face because she loves sunflowers. And don't forget to go to her channel and watch her video for today, and while you're there, you might as well subscribe because she's very talented and she's super sweet. And I can't wait to see what she created for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. More fun DIYs are coming as we approach all the holidays. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a ride. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye-bye.